Welcome to Morrowind with the Morrowind graphics and sound overhaul version 3.0 installed, which is a collection of mods assembled by Kingpix. I'll try and remember to put the link in the description field. My name's Icehair, I do gaming experiments, and this is going to be a partial let's play of a legendary mod for Morrowind called The Underground 2 by Carl, spelled with a Q, and patched also by a bunch of people, including someone called Huskabar. I wanted to do this mod because Dawnguard has been out for Skyrim for so long now, and I was asked some time ago to do Dawnguard with the character that I use for my Skyrim Let's Play, and I didn't, at least not on camera with that character. I was also asked what I thought about Dawnguard, and well, what I think of it is that it reminded me a little bit of the Underground 2, so it's also been compared to sort of cross between Morrowind and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline, so if by now you've guessed that the mod involves vampires, you would be correct. But it reminds me a little bit of Dawnguard, and the mod rather isn't really intended for new characters. You can see I've been loading a game here. Rather than creating a new character, I'm going to load a character that, if you've been watching my Sky, may recognize. It's going to be a partial Let's Play of the Underground 2 for a number of reasons. For one thing, the Underground 2 is legendary, not just for the epic size and length flash on me, and maybe I will, but don't count on it. Another reason is you may notice, well, don't know if you noticed, certainly I noticed that the frame rate outdoors, like here, really isn't terribly good. But most of the mod happens and takes place indoors, you know, underground. It's called the Underground, I suppose. So I'm hoping that won't be that much of an issue, to be frank. But it is another reason why it'll only be a partial Let's Play, because I just, you know, you won't be seeing me doing an awful lot of fighting outdoors, I think, because recording just slows the frame rate to, well, currently it's about the lowest it gets, which is in Balmoral, which is 1516. But when I travel and I move, then for like a millisecond it'll drop even lower than that. Look at the way that Argonian in the distance is moving. I've got to give it to the makers of the overhaul, though. Morrowind now looks better than ever. I really do think so. Yes, the character. I don't know if you recognize him from looking at him, but if I open up my stats, and if you have been following my Skyrim Let's Play, you may recognize that his actual name is Snickers. So it is the Khajiit thief from elsewhere. I have to say this is not quite the same incarnation of Snickers as you've seen in Skyrim, obviously, because it's been 200 years in between. I don't think anyone suggested that Khajiit will live for that long. Also because, I mean, this character is a rather dedicated thief. So, I mean, that was the class I chose, and Morrowind forced you to sort of choose classes. And so this character just isn't as talented in magic as the character you've seen in Skyrim. And that also has meant, for this character, that his illusion skill, for example, is, well, like 49 is sort of half decent, I suppose, but for a level 56 character, it's not that amazing, really. His main skills are rather things like sneaking around, certainly, jumping around, definitely, But also fighting with a short and even a long blade, in fact, and security for opening locks and stuff, marksman for shooting things, um, fighting hand to hand, running, trading things. So, in short, this character has been. I mean, this. I think the basic personality will be familiar to you if you know my Skyrim series, but he's just not as good, basically, at avoiding combat. Oh, that's a bit of a lag right there, because I need to load. That usually only happens when I travel, though. Let's head into the Guild of Mages. Even though he's not really that good at casting spells to become invisible or to calm people down or so on, he has joined the Mages Guild in Morrowind. He just hasn't, advanced very far in it. I'll need to pop in here because for the beginning of the Underground 2, I'm going to need a bottle of skooma, and I think...
to you.
Yes, warm day to you, Ajira. Sneakers was hoping to buy back some of the skooma that he sold to you some time ago. There it is. Thank you. Because I'll need that for the mod. And yeah, as I was saying, since he's not so good at calming people down and so on, he's just not as good. He's been more prone to defending himself with force when necessary. He's killed more people, quite simply. People who, attacked him first. He is not by any means a murderer or an assassin or anything like that. He is the Grandmaster of the the Grandmaster of the Thieves Guild in Morrowind, and he has also risen to become the head of House Halalu, as well as... Well, we can talk about, for example, the Nerevarine, which is Sneakers, because he has, finished the main quest, basically. I've gone into this pub, the Lucky Lockup.
Greetings to you, Khajiit.
Ours is to ask, what does this visitor want?
Actually, not very much. This visitor is only poking around.
Greetings.
And
What shall we talk about?
well, a trapdoor to Balmora the Sewers West. See, that's what this mod starts doing. It adds sewers to Balmora, and one of the entrances is through this pub, the inn, I should say, the Lucky Lockup. So let's, since we've lost music as well, but that should change once we open this trapdoor, I hope. And head into the sewers. Now, why does Sneakers poke into the sewers? Curiosity, perhaps? As a thief, I suppose he's certainly interested in... Ooh, not in human flesh, that's for sure, but in sort of strange areas, sort of unofficial areas. That would be his demesne of interest, certainly. And it makes sense that Balmora should have a sewers like this. I mean, Vivek has one. And here we meet a character.
Truly. How may I help you?
Well... And then he says, "Hello, Khajiit, you're not going to hurt Wicky, are you?" And Sneakers will probably reply, "Who the hell is Wicky?"
Why, I am Wicky. Wicky is me. Let us be friends and drink large amounts of ale or skooma.
Well, you're in luck, Wicky, because Sneakers just picked up some skooma.
Oh, is that skooma for Wicky?
Alright, here you are.
Oh, goody. Skooma. Now Wicky can tell you what he knows about vampires.
No, okay.
Okay, since you brought Wicky the skooma, Wicky will tell you. One of the big shot vampires has this powerful ring called the Ring of Awareness. But Wicky doesn't know where he is or what his name is. But there's a vampire that hangs down here in the sewers sometimes, and she's called Cinder Rains. She's pretty nice for a vampire, at least Wicky never saw her try to bite anyone. And she knows stuff. She might know more about the ring. Wicky would go to ask her if Wicky were you. So you said Cinder was her name? And she knows more about this Ring of Awareness? What is it, anyway? The Ring of Awareness is an old ring with lots of power. You should ask Cinder about it. Wicky doesn't understand such things very good.
And I got the journal update, which will tell me that one of the big shot vampires is an ancient ring called the Ring of Awareness. It doesn't tell me where she is or anything, of course. This is Morrowind. Nobody tells you anything about where something is. And if they do tell you where something is, it'll probably be impossible to follow those directions. But yeah. Also about the vampires here, it's kind of interesting that Wicky says,
I don't like them. They all think they're so hip and so cool. They look down on us orcs. They say we're backwards and not smart.
So the vampires in this game in this mod, are rather different from the vampires in some ways at least, from the vampires in Dawnguard, for example. Let's jump, that's the fastest way to move around. And let's see if... Oh, hello! You were not here before. And you are actually Cinder. You can see her taste in clothing is rather on the scanty clad side. That's sort of part of the fun of this mod. Part of that's what reminds me of Vampire Bloodlines. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. So if that's not the sort of thing for you, feel free to go watch something else. But I think, you know, vampires generally known to be, you know, seductive and all that stuff. And also, they try to make a point of it here. They try to flesh out the characters to a certain extent, which I really like. So, anyway, Sneakers has just popped into the sewers and found this rather scantily clad woman, and hey, you're not a vampire. What brings you down to the sewers today? Or she says, or something like that. I should probably not try to voice act the women characters. In my Skyrim Let's Play, I sort of talked as Sneakers all the time. I can't really do that in Morrowind because there's just too many people, and there's just too little voice acted dialogue, so I'll have to lend my voice to a lot of other people as well. But I think for the female characters, it's just hard for me, especially to sound like Cinder, so should probably just say stuff like she's asking Sneakers what brings him down to the sewers. Well, yeah, they're pretty much a vamp hangout, she says, about the sewers. She doesn't live here apparently like a lot of the vamps do, but she comes down some evenings to party. That must be what Wicky said about being hip and cool. So you are Cinder, perhaps? Yep, that's her. Just your friendly neighborhood vampiress. Or something like that. Anyway, awareness. You heard something about a Ring of Awareness? She has indeed, although not many people have, she says. And those who have think it's an old myth, but she says it's not a myth, it's as real as you or I. And she's willing to tell Sneakers what she knows about this if he'll just kindly pop back into that opening behind the campfire over there and fetch Sting the sword. It's back there. And it's kind of hard to get around back there because it's flooded. Okay. You don't like flooded, is that it? What's the deal with this Sting the sword anyway? Apparently she found a treasure map a while back and discovered it was beneath the city of Balmora. And part of the Balmora sewer wall had collapsed to reveal that cave.